And lawmakers say Florida taxpayers will save $1.3 billion in the next year under the tax package that state lawmakers passed this week. Action News Jax state and local government reporter Jake Stofan joins us now live downtown. And Jake, you have been digging into the cuts and why some lawmakers argue that this proposal actually missed the mark.
Well, and remember, it was the tax package that was largely responsible for sending lawmakers into double overtime in order to bring this year's session in for a landing. And while property tax and permanent sales tax reductions were largely at the center of that debate, this final product largely fails to fully deliver on either of those. Instead of permanent across-the-board sales or property tax reduction, Floridians are getting something quite different in this year's tax package. The biggest bulk of the $1.3 billion in savings comes in the form of the elimination of the business rent tax. There's also permanent year-round sales tax cuts on certain hurricane preparedness items, a permanent one-month back-to-school sales tax holiday, and a one-time outdoor sales tax holiday. Yulee State Representative Dean Black helped lead the charge negotiating the tax bill.
We wanted to make real, lasting changes in the size and scope of government by making permanent tax reductions, and we did that.
But others, like Jacksonville State Representative Angie Nixon, argue the bill fails to deliver the family-focused cuts legislative leaders had promised when session began.
No cuts for sales tax, not addressing the property tax issue.
Dominic Calabro, president of Florida Tax Watch, sees the tax bill as a step in the right direction, moving away from one-off sales tax holidays that often changed from year to year in favor of more predictable savings. He also sees the elimination of the business rent tax as a major victory.
Because it's going to allow businesses to put that savings ultimately into hiring staff or paying some of the staff a little bit better salaries and benefits, instead of giving it to the tax man.
But Nixon argues the legislature prioritized gimmicks over meaningful tax reform.
They are allowing people to potentially go out and get a ton of bullets and a ton of guns and get NASCAR tickets, which it does not positively impact working families across our state.
But Black argues the bill represents a compromise, and lawmakers have committed to delve deeper into things like property tax reform in next year's session.
All in all, I think we achieved a really good balance.
Now, while lawmakers did not directly address property tax reform this session, they did approve a state-led study that will help inform their decision-making process on the issue in next year's session. For local coverage you can count on live downtown, I'm Jake Stofan, Action News Jax.